Have you ever been hit with a sudden desire to spend money, even when you know in your heart you don't need a single thing? It happened to us today.
Hi, if you don't know us, I'm Larry.
I'm Hope.
And we're from Under the Median, where practical frugality meets real life.
Now that I've gotten your attention, let me tell you the whole story. We went to the DMV this morning because I needed to renew my driver's license. I needed to get a real ID. So I'm driving home and I look over at Larry and I'm like, hey, you want to go do something fun? We could go shopping. That would be fun. And he looks at me like, what in heaven's name is she even talking about? Why is she saying this? Here's why I was saying that. Because I'm driving along and I'm seeing, oh, look, there's the mattress store. We've been talking about purchasing a new mattress. Maybe we should stop in, just see what they've got on hand. Oh, look, there's Goodwill. There's that other thrift store. That's the one we haven't been to for a really long time. I even got to the point where I was going, oh, look, there's Kroger. We should maybe stop in and shop at Kroger. Here's the question. Did we need to shop for a mattress today? No, we did not. We haven't even looked to see if there's any mattresses on sale in our area or any coupons available. You don't shop that way. Did we need anything pressing that we needed to purchase right away, secondhand? No. Did we even need any food in our home? Absolutely not. We have a refrigerator and a freezer full of food right now. So why in the world was I thinking, maybe we should stop. We should do some shopping. That would be fun. Here's the truth, guys. There are a number of different reasons why we stop to shop. It can be that we're bored. It could be that we're happy. It
could be that we're anxious.
Yes, it could be that it's a Friday. It could be any number of reasons. You want to know the reason why I was wanting to stop? And here's what I realized. Once I thought about it, I realized that the reason that I was just itching to go somewhere and spend some time and spend some money is because it was a great big avoidance on my part. It was work avoidance. I had a huge list at home of stuff I needed to get done today, and that diversion seemed really inviting because it kept me from digging into this huge laundry list of things that I needed to get done. And that's our number one tip, is think about what's really going on here. Why do I have this sudden desire to spend money that I don't really need to spend? Once you name that emotion, just sit for a minute in your feelings and think, I got to put a name on it. Once you name it, it's a whole lot easier to say, I don't claim it. I name it, but I don't claim it, and I'm not going to go in that direction.
Here's something else we do to avoid that spending spree, and that's to become aware of the big picture. What are our total goals that we have in mind? What are we actually wanting to do with our money? And how would running out to Goodwill or the mattress store affect those? Those are things that we have to keep in mind all the time.
I'd love to know in the comment section, do you have written financial goals? We do. We have quarterly goals, monthly goals, and weekly goals. I'd love to know in the comments, do you have a set of written financial goals? And if you need some help reaching those goals, sometimes it just takes that moment we're able to visualize where we're starting from, where we want to go, where we're in that journey to get from where we are to where we want to be. And sometimes you just need like a goal tracker to be able to like put it on your refrigerator, color it in as you make progress. We have a set of free goal trackers that we would love to send you. I'm going to make sure that there's a link in the video description for them.
In relation to what Hope just talked about, make a want later list. This is a list of items that you may have your eye on, but you're not even sure that you want to put them in as a solid goal yet because it's just a want list. Keep that in mind and think about this over a week or a month. And it might be that after a month or so, you realize that that want isn't a want at all. It was just something of the immediate that you thought that you wanted.
You could call it a want list. You could call it a need list. You could call it a needs to be replaced list. But I told Larry recently, I said, let's give it a fun name. Let's call it Fred. And then when we want something, we could say, do we need this? I don't know. Let's consult Fred. Does that not sound more interesting than let's consult our want list? I'm just saying. Name your list.
Another way to cope with this is to find something productive to do in the meantime. There's always things that we need to get done. I might need to mow the lawn, do some trimming, maybe even something free like just go for a bike ride, take my digital camera with me and take pictures. None of that costs any money, and that gives you some time to work out those items that you have on your goal list.
You know, I talked about just the reason that I wanted to spend some time and spend some money was because I was using that as a diversion from work.
Yes.
Really getting into that work after I got home, and we avoided that distraction. That did help me to feel more centered. Make yourself a list and start checking things off on the list. What you want to do is do something to break that pattern, because that pattern is for you to go and hit the big red buy button and spend some money. So what can you do that's going to divert you onto another more healthy path for you and your finances?
One thing not related to that is to have a fun money category in your budget. Now, this is a category that Hope and I have had since we were first married. I had this so I could spend money on the hobbies and interests that I had that were unrelated to anything that we really needed to have in our budget. This gives you a category of money that you can spend, and it's okay to spend that money. It's a good category.
You know, like emotionally, the most important thing that I think happens when you have a little bit of fun money every month is it gives you choices. I get to choose how I spend X number of dollars every month. It feels like this like heaviness sometimes, that everything that we spend our money on is a need. I'm being forced to spend that money. I have to spend this money. I don't have a choice. Well, that little bit of a release, that pressure release, that fun money gives you the ability to choose how you want to spend a small portion of your money. And it's so helpful to be able to then focus on the things that you do need to spend your money on without feeling like you resent those things.
It gives your budget a balance so that you're not always working on things that you absolutely have to do. You have something fun in between there to break it up.
And when it comes to making sure that you have funds in hand to pay for those things that you do need to pay for, that you don't have a choice to pay for, one of the most effective things that we have found to save money for those items in our budget, that would be sinking funds.
Yes.
We have a number of sinking funds where we know, for instance, how much our life insurance is going to be, or our health insurance is going to be. If we're paying it once a year, we take that whole amount, divide it by 12, and then we save that money every month. So when the insurance payment is due, we're able to pay the insurance payment. But we also use it for things like gifts, clothing, Christmas. There are all kinds. There's like 10 or 12 different sinking fund categories that we have in our budget, and we have found them to be incredibly effective. Now, if you want some step-by-step ideas on how to save up for those sinking funds, even if you're on a really tight budget, we did a video on it. It's right over there.